Hey, it's Anissa. This is my grandfather.
Hi!
His name's Mike. Oh, yeah, Mike. All right. Ready, Papa?
Yes.
Why would you say you're a Republican?
Because I'm not a Democrat. Ha ha
That was a good one.
Because I have completely different views than most Democrats do. And we'll discuss a few of them as we go along.
Yep, very true. Very right. 2, what do you think about Trump's wall idea? What do you think about him building a wall?
Well, it would have been a really great idea. I think it's a good idea, first of all. It'd be an even better idea if we weren't the ones paying for it, but we know that's going to happen. Something's got to be done about immigration. And if we have to put up a wall, look at all the other countries that do it. And nobody has a problem with it. We can't go into Canada without getting in trouble. We can't just move down to Mexico without getting in trouble. So you got to have some kind of sort of immigration policy here.
True. Okay. 3, what do you think about abortion? What's your first idea that you think of whenever I say abortion? Do you think pro-choice or pro?
I'm pro-choice. I'm a true believer that it's completely up to the woman to decide what she wants to do. Church should stay out of it. Government should stay out of it. It's not their choice. It's completely up to a woman what she wants to do. She gets to make the final decision.
Well, what do you? Could you understand the other person's side of being anti-choice?
The only other side there is to that is the only other person involved in that is the man. All right, and considering it's the woman's body, it's mainly her say so is the final, is her whatever her decision is up to her.
Very true. Okay, 5. What do you think? Oh, wrong one. What? Okay. Now, do you think we should try to decrease the amount of gun violence in America?
The only way to decrease gun violence in America is to have deeper background checks. We need to figure out some way to help keep the production of all these firearms. I'm not saying you're never going to take guns away from people, and I wouldn't suggest to do that. We have to figure out a way. We shouldn't be producing 5 billion guns a year when we only sell 2 million in the United States. And as far as assault rifles, yes, they should be limited to military personnel only, and those of retired U.S. military personnel if they choose to have them.
Okay. If you are making the new background check, what extra questions would you ask when somebody is buying a gun?
First of all, I'd look into mental instability. If there was any problems as far as has there ever been any attempts to take their own life? What types of medications are they on? And that would be the first step, is to do deeper background checks on people.
Just wondering, who do you think should make these new background checks? Like, who do you think should come up with the new questions? Do you think the people should? Do you think congressmen should? Do you think
everybody should have a say so? Everybody, they ought to have a big contest, and everybody writes in questions and different statements and different ideas, and then you have Congress and you have senators and you have everybody sit there and everybody discusses this stuff, and they could hammer something out to make it a whole lot better system. They really could, but there's big money. It's always big money. Big money's always going to take over and not let them do it. So it's going to be very challenging for anything to get done in this country.
Okay. What do you think about Trump getting North Korea and South Korea to sit down with him and possibly make a treaty?
Well, isn't it funny that here it took a billionaire businessman to go over there and say, "Hey, I'm going to kick you in the ass if you guys don't kick." Oops, I'm sorry. Kick you, kick you in the rear. Sit down, talk. I mean, come on. Korean War since the 50s and early 60s. I mean, it's gone on long enough, and boy, he goes over there. God knows what he told the guy, but look at it, and here it happens. It's amazing, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. Okay, now we're gonna get into okay, I'm just gonna go in certain sections. This one's just called politics. What do you think is the most important political issue at this moment? Gotcha.
Oh, immigration. Something has to be done about immigration and war on drugs. They need to get real about it. I'm glad to see they're finally cutting down on these doctors for over prescribing pain pills. That we have that it has to be everywhere. Not just certain people. It's got to start at the top and go down to everybody. We need to start kicking people in the rear ends and doing something about it.
Okay.
Opioids.
Yes, opioids. I'd said that. I was like, opioids. Should citizens be made? Wait, what? Should citizens be made to take some form of intelligence or general knowledge test before being allowed to vote? Like, should I have to take an IQ test before I'm able to vote, or should I just be able to go and vote?
No, I don't think an IQ test, all right, IQ / how about common sense and common knowledge? I mean, good Lord, the people that can't answer who's buried in Grant's tomb, for real. I know it's a joke, but just common sense, common knowledge would be wonderful for a lot of these people to know before they're allowed to go out and pick somebody to run for an office.
Okay. How do you personally decide your vote? Do you listen to all the arguments and then decide, or you just hear Republican or Democrat or whatever and then decide?
I listen. I listen to everybody. I have to. I'm older. I know better. I don't know everything. But I want to hear everybody's ideas on something and who's gonna make the biggest impact.
Okay, well that was my next question, was how do you decide your vote? Do you always vote for the same party?
For the last 30 years, 40 years, yes. And then before that, probably the same thing. I was Democrat for a lot of years. And then things just swing around. Like I said, it just depends on who has the better ideas.
Okay. Do you think that we should higher or lower the voting age in our country? Like, do you think we should lower it to 16 or 17, or do you think we should higher it to 20, 22? Good question.
That is a really good question. I think it could go. It shouldn't be lowered. You have to be at least 18. It's got to be 18. And I don't know, but you're asking 18-year-olds to go over there and be killed by soldiers, so they ought to be able to vote, have their vote heard. They're saying their thoughts heard also.